Okay, this is the second part of surface area of prisms. And this is the one we finished on, but I wanted to go ahead and make sure that you got to see the whole thing. So the perimeter of the base. So the base is, let me just get a different color here. The base is this trapezoid. Okay, and so this 20 is the same as this 20 here because we know that the bases have to be parallel. So when we add up the perimeter of the base, that's 20 plus 20 plus 32 plus 8. So that's 40. So that is 80. And so perimeter times height, the perimeter, the height of the prism is this right here. So that is 11. So this is 880. And then we're going to use our formula, base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2 for the area of the base, which is this trapezoid. So we had a 32 for this side, and we had an 8 right here. So we can draw these two triangles right here on the sides, which are congruent triangles. So 32 minus 8 gave me 24, and half of that goes here and half here. So that's how I've got the measurements on this triangle. I have a 12 and a 20, so I do Pythagorean theorem to find the height here, which is 16. So now I have all my parts for this, and it's base 1, so it's 32 plus 8 times the height of the trapezoid, which is 16, divided by 2. So that was 40 times 8, 320. And so now this is the 880 plus 2 times the area of the base. So that is 640 plus 880, and it's 1520 units squared. All right, so that's a trapezoidal prism. So now let's look at, I think we just have a couple more. No, we have 3 more. Okay. Now here, the base here is a regular hexagon. Okay, so this is a hexagonal prism. So here's my base. So that means this is the height of the prism. So for pH, this height is 12. So now these are going to be, again, regular hexagons. So if each side is 6, the perimeter of the base is 6 times 6 is 36. Now what we need to do is find the area of the base. So that is just a different color. The 1/2 AP, where A is the apothem and P is the perimeter. Now, what you may remember what that is, this angle right here, we need this angle, but if not, n minus 2 times 180 is how we find the sum of interior angles, and then we divide that by n, and that's going to give us the measure of each angle inside of here. And if you do that, you're going to get 120. And then when you draw this radius right here, it cuts that in half, and it makes this a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So let me try and draw that right here. This is, I drew it backwards. Let me fix that. Okay. So it's this triangle right here, so kind of draw it like this. So it's 60. Okay, now the one measurement that we're given is we're given that each side is 6. So you've got to know that the apothem cuts that in half. So there's your 3. Now we have our 30, 60, 90 triangle. Across from 30 is x, so that's 3. Across from 90 is 2x, which is 6. And then across from 60 is x times the square root of 3. So this is 3 times the square root of 3. It's going to be right here. So our formula, 1/2, 3 times the square root of 3, times the perimeter of this base, which was 36. So now we have everything we need. I'm going to multiply 36 times 3 and divide by 2. And this is 54 times the square root of 3. Okay, so the perimeter here is 36 times this height, which is 12. And so 36 times 12 is 432. So that is the lateral surface area. And then this is pH plus 2b. So we have 432 plus, now you want to multiply 2 times 54, and you get 108 times the square root of 3. You cannot add those. Those are not like terms, and so that is your final answer. 432 plus 108 times the square root of 3. Okay, I know there's a lot of work involved in that, so let's go to the next one and try and do it together one more time. Okay, so same picture really, but we just got some different numbers. So again, I would say this is a hexagonal prism, if we're going to name it. Hexagonal prism, because the base has 6 sides, and the formula here is pH, and this is pH plus 2b. The height of the prism is 11. Okay, so now let's go here. The perimeter, the base is, each side is 8, and there's 6 of them, so the perimeter is 48. So now what we need to do is we need to look at this right here, and this is 60, okay? So this is 1/2 AP. So 1/2 times the apothem. So again, if you want to draw it a little bit bigger here, 60, 30. Again, we have x, 2x, and x to the square root of 3. So if the whole side here is 8, half of 8 is 4. So that makes x is 4, 2x is 8, and then the apothem is 4 times the square root of 3. So we have 1/2 times 4 to the square root of 3 times the perimeter of the base, which is 48. So now pH is 48 times 11. That's 528. And then this will be 528 plus 2 times the area of the base. And this is 48 times 4 times 1/2, or 48 times 2 is 96 to the square root of 3. So 2 of those is plus 192 to the square root of 3. And that is your final answer. You cannot add those. They are not like terms. Okay, so now I want to move to the last one, and please pause this one and try and do it yourself, and then we'll look at the answer together. Okay, so this is another hexagonal prism, and the perimeter of the base is just adding up all the sides of this regular hexagon. So 4 times 6 is 24, and then the area of the base is 1/2 AP, and so when we draw the apothem and the radius, it cuts the base in half here and makes this 2, and so the apothem is 2 times the square root of 3. So there's 1/2 AP, 1/2 2 to the square root of 3 times 24, and then our final answer is pH, or perimeter times the height. The lateral area is 240, and then plus 48 to the square root of 3. Okay, so good luck with the practice, and again, I know the practice is a little long, as are the notes. Tomorrow's is pretty short, so if you want to save a little bit for tomorrow, you'll have some time. Thank you.